Are you shocked at the amount of people that live in Western societies, here in Norway, especially when we were in Sweden a couple days ago, but all the countries that we've been in, that live in free societies yet are completely afraid to say what they think? Is it absolutely shocking to you?
I think what I've been most shocked about in all of that is what's happened in the UK, with the police starting to prosecute people for crimes of offensiveness. That's just, and I think that's probably partly because I see that as broadly reflective of something that's happening in the West in general, but it's particularly shocking and appalling to me as a Western Canadian, because obviously Canada was part of the British Empire, and when I grew up, there was a pretty tight affinity still in Western Canada with the British Empire. I mean, our maps were the Dominion of Canada. It was still pink. It was still part of the British Empire. We sang God Save the Queen constantly at public gatherings. That's gone by the wayside. I've always regarded British common law and the British parliamentary tradition as, well, one of perhaps the highest achievement of Western civilization. I mean, you could argue about that, but it's in the top 10, let's say. And then to see the Brits, who also have this phenomenal sense of humor, this ability to say anything, no matter how outrageous, about anyone, and to include themselves in the joke, right? Which is such an elegant way of expressing comedic freedom. To see them going down this road is it's what is it exactly? Well, it's deeply saddening, that's for sure. And what's horrifying, and that's not exactly the right word. I don't know what the word for it is. There's certainly sorrow that's associated with it. Disbelief, it's also that. At watching that happen in what I still think is like the central core of the idea of individual sovereignty and freedom as expressed across the Western world. And then there's similar manifestations of that everywhere else, but the police prosecuting people for, asking people to turn in their neighbors if they say something offensive, and that's happening in the UK. Well, we saw that somebody sent me pictures of posters in the Scottish subway, in the metro, in the tube, saying, inviting people to inform on their neighbors for being offensive. It's like, what the hell? I knew this was coming because I knew. We brought our first hate speech laws in Canada back in the 1980s. We were after this character named Ernst Zundel, who is a particularly despicable piece of work, hard hat wearing, right-wing, anti-Semite, Holocaust denier. He had it all, that guy. It was his shenanigans, careless, malevolent shenanigans that enticed Canadians into producing hate speech legislation. I thought, no, that's not good. It's not good. You're making a big mistake. We're going to pay for this. It's going to unfold over a long time. Who defines hate? The crucial issue. It's not like it's a scientific category. It's a judgment. And the answer is those whom you least want to have the power to define it, because they're the ones that will take that power to themselves. And if you think that isn't going to affect what you get to say, well, you've got another think coming. So I think we're going to pay for it. And hopefully we'll wake up and push back before we have to pay too high a price. We're going to pay for it. So, yeah. And we're going to deserve to pay for it too.
He's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.